Hey guys, I am in a very good mood. It's Crankworks week down in Rotorua, riding the Hero Dirt, and I've got a e-bike to play with. What is it? Well, it is the Devinci E-Spartan. What is it? Well, Shimano EP8 motor. It's got a 725 watt-hour battery in the down tube, a little bit bigger than the 625. It's a big burly bike. I love my big burly bikes. 180 Fox 38s up the front. A DHX2 170mm travel coil. So again, she's a big burly sort of downhill bike. It's a full 29er. After me saying I haven't ridden many 29ers for a while, it's 2 in a row. So it'll be interesting to see how I get on with that. Brakes, XT 4-pot brakes. Been on a fair few bikes now I've ridden. Shimano Dior 12-speed. I guess it's a little lower spec than some of the bikes I've ridden recently. But I often say, do you really want to have a really expensive drivetrain on an e-bike when you're just going to chew through it? What do we think of the looks of the bike? Well, first things first, you may have noticed it's got this clear coat on it, and this obviously the bike doesn't come with it, but it's pretty damn ugly, isn't it? The owner of the bike said I was welcome to take it off for the video, but that sounded like hard work. Well, work anyway, and I try and shy away from that. So if you can imagine, well, I'll probably show you some images of the bike without it, but without it, it's a beautiful gloss black, badass kind of looking bike with some gold writing on it. If you like that whole stealth look, it looks pretty cool. The wheels on this thing, as I say, it's a 29er. They're Devinci's own wheels, so I really don't know how good a quality they are, but I'm almost certain to go and case some things, so I guess we'll find out. It's also got things like a Devinci seat and a Devinci handlebar, so quite a lot of Devinci sort of specific items on it. Anyway, I reckon we should go and take it on a run down K2, good downhill gnarly track to warm up on. Anyway, we'll see you there. Alright, we're going to try a track called K2 here in Rotorua. This is a grade 5 sort of steep tech track. Wait, hey, that's quite squishy. I was kind of expecting a big impact then. Oh. Must admit, haven't really ridden a lot yet, so this will be a bit of a test. We can try it out together. It's got the feel very much of a downhill bike on this thing. I think it's about 64-degree head angle, fairly long wheelbase. It's actually a size large, this one. At least the track conditions are good. Send it off there. It's quite plush, the suspension, I must admit. Quite enjoying it so far. Lots of sort of little drops on this track. You don't really want to roll them. Not sure if that was the best line. XD brakes, alright, now I've did this before. There we go, that's the one. XD brakes, 4-pot brakes. Seems to have been very common on the bikes I've reviewed of late, but I really like them. Oh, that's not the line. Oh, should have gone wide. We'll edit that bit out. Whoa! Front wheel went off a little bit on the edge of that. Didn't do that very well. Okay, this is a review of the bike, not of my mountain biking skills, by the way. They can definitely be improved on. Okay, this will be a good test for it. Whoa! Whoa! Did that wrong as well. Okay, well, I'm going to have to edit the whole thing out. Riding's terrible, bike's great. Haven't ridden down the here much for a while. Need to get my eye back in again, I think. I usually say it takes about 20 minutes for me to get the feel of a bike. I actually haven't been riding that one this long, I don't think. Well, not anything other than the road, but maybe should have started on a flatter trail, eh? Right, high on this one. That's the one. Got a good dropper on this thing.
well, a long drop anyhow. I think it's a 170. Slams hard into the frame, which I'm a big fan of. Okay, send it over here. And that, my friends, is K2. Alright, the question then is, what does it climb like? It's not bad. I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't say it's the best climbing bike, but it's not really designed. Anyone who buys a long travel bike isn't looking for a climbing beast. But it has got lockout on the shock, which I'm not using, and it's still getting up here just fine.
Alright, I almost feel like I need to apologise for some of that riding. Some of it was a bit below par. But what it did show though is that the bike was very forgiving. When I made a few of those mistakes, the suspension was so plush and so active that it just forgave me for getting offline and getting a little bit out of shape. In fact, there was a few drops there I did where I thought it was going to be quite a harsh landing, but it was actually pretty buttery smooth. In fact, talking of buttery smooth, you may have noticed this slightly unusual linkage here at the back, and it's called an EMTB optimized split pivot. Now, I wrote a few notes when I was sitting out in the forest about what I thought about this thing, and what I came up with was separates acceleration forces from braking forces for a buttery smooth ride, complemented by hyperactive smooth bump compliance. Additionally, optimized kinematics keep the e-bike suspension active even when accelerating for added torque and improved overall traction. So that's pretty impressive, don't you think? Of course, I didn't write any of that. That's complete marketing hype, isn't it? Copied that straight off the website. In fact, I don't understand any of those big words. But this thing did handle very well, I must admit. Trekking over tree roots, drops, gnarly sort of tracks, it seemed to handle it well, seemed to soak up the bumps, and I did really genuinely enjoy riding this thing. Another feature on this bike, in fact there's a couple of wee features. One odd thing, if you want to turn it on, the button is way under there. It took me ages to find that. That was interesting. The other thing is the charging on this thing. It comes with a fast charger, and you can charge to 80% in 2 hours. And in most cases you think, well, that's probably not a big deal. But if you're having a really big day and you have stopped for lunch for a while and want to charge up and boost the battery, that's quite useful. In fact, if you watch some of our videos, you know, when the guys have all been to Rotorua, a couple of times we've tried to, we've gone and asked the guys at the higher centre, can we plug our bikes in for lunchtime? And they've said yes. But we've only got like 15-20% additional charge in an hour. So a fast charger could be a pretty cool thing. You may also notice on the front of this thing that it looks a little bit naked there, and you say there's no chain guide. It does actually, I believe, come with a chain guide, but I think that got smashed off or broken. So anyway, it's not on there at the moment, but it does come with a chain guide. Now, for those of you who know me, I love to jump things, and so I'm really interested to see how comfortable I feel on this thing in the air. So why don't we go and check out some of our Rotorua's famous jumps.
All right, guess it's time for a little bit of jumps. Always a little bit more cautious when I'm on my own, but this is quite confidence inspiring, I must admit. Suspension, I love the old coil on the back. She feels nice and plush at the back. Quite a long wheelbase on this thing, so it feels pretty stable over these good sized jumps here. Oh yep. Oh, I cased it, but a super soft landing. Okay, we're going to try Katuri jumps. Now, I often struggle to get big bikes over these jumps. We'll see how we go. Oh, there, nice. Nice, come on, you can do it, Lance. Yeah, one more. Oh, that's great. Happy with that. All right, having quite a bit of fun on this, so we might as well carry on a little bit. Oh, nice. Yeah, boy. Hurrah, floater. Oh, that feels real good. Happy with that.
you know, I don't reckon I did that bad there actually. In fact, I had a really good time jumping, probably spent way too much time jumping and probably should have done some other things on this bike, but I was having a lot of fun. In fact, if you saw that Katori jump section, it's an interesting one because it's very up and down. You can't just go fast, that doesn't work. You've got to get up, down, and get each one perfectly, otherwise you can't get over them all. And if you've watched some of my previous videos, I have struggled on some bikes, but this actually managed to get over really nicely. It's a reasonably big bike. It's a 1290 sort of wheelbase, 485 reach, and a 64-degree head angle. It's down as a large. It suited me fine. I would probably ride a bike maybe marginally smaller, maybe around 450, 460, but it still worked for me, that's for sure. 29er, I really enjoyed that actually. I did buzz me old pants on the rear tyre once. You can make this a mullet if you want, but I really did enjoy the 29. It did certainly roll fast. Interestingly, it's only got a 2.5 DHF on the front, and on the rear a 2.4 DHR2, I think. So at this time of year, the weather's dry, the tracks are dry, it goes really, really fast. You might want to consider some slightly bigger tyres in winter, but certainly for this time of year, it was quick, that's for sure. What did I think of the looks of the bike? On the whole, I really do like the look of the bike. It does have, the battery here drops out. You can take that plate off there, and the battery drops out to, if you want to charge it or put another one in. It does mean that the bike has a kind of interesting shape here across the bottom, and I'm not sure I necessarily love the look of that, but apart from that, yeah, it looks pretty mean. If you may be wondering where I get my hands on these bikes, as I say, as the channel's growing and you guys hit the subscribe button, it all helps. More and more people want to give me a bike, and this is probably a good example of that. Bike Barn in Van Dykes in Patara of all places said, would I like to have this thing and try it and do a review video? And I said, yeah, sure, I can do that. I did ask them what it retails for, and it retails for 15 grand. I know these e-bikes are expensive, but you know, that's where we are today. I said that they could do better, and so if you go in and mention best day ever, they'll give you $1,000 off till the end of the month. And I said they could do better than that, and so they're going to throw in a Leat full face helmet. So that's not a bad deal if you want to get in quick. If you want one that a slightly shorter travel, they also do an E-Troy, and I think there's $1,000 off the Troy at the moment as well if you're into that. So anyway, on the whole, I've really enjoyed riding this bike. It's a lot of fun. If you've enjoyed the video and some of it made sense, I'd love it if you subscribed. Feel free to leave a comment. I'll do my best to answer any questions you have, and anyway, we'll see you on the next one.